Hi, this video is about the Glamour System in FFXIV or Transmog if you're more familiar with that term. I'll explain how to unlock it, use it, and everything else you need to know about it, so let's get started right away. To unlock it, all you gotta do is follow the main quest until you reach a place called Vesper Bay in Western Fenelon. It doesn't matter in which city-state you start, you'll get there eventually. Find this NPC since they have all quests you need, starting with the first one called FFXIV, which can be accessed upon reaching level 15. This unlocks the Glamour system itself. Then we have another quest afterwards for the dye system called Color Your World, and a third quest that requires you to have a craft on level 15, letting you craft glamour prisms on your own. The last one is not that necessary because there are other ways to obtain them easily and you're getting a few right away. Now, glamour prisms are used for glimmering items. They can be obtained from the market board, the Grand Company in exchange for seals, from the PvP vendor, or crafted on your own like I mentioned earlier. There are also glamour dispellers used to revert glamoured items back to their original state, and can be obtained from various vendors including the previously mentioned sources. Dyes need to be bought as well. Most of them can be easily obtained in major cities and are very cheap, but there are also more expensive ones which are also obtainable through the market board, crafting, or sometimes through sending you retainers and ventures. There are two different ways to glamour your gear. The first one is to glamour every piece manually by right-clicking and choosing Cast Glamour. Then you get a list with your currently equipped pieces on the left and the items you can choose the appearance of on the right. With this you can now glamour everything piece by piece. The good thing about this is that you can do it anywhere, even outside of cities or sanctuaries, and it even works inside of duties. But this method is very slow, costs a lot of prisms, and you need to carry around the items you want to use the appearance of. Customizations stay on items, so if you unequip glamoured gear, everything will remain, including dyes. There are other general restrictions you need to keep in mind too. The items you want to borrow the appearance of need to be on the same level or below the other item, meaning you can't glamour the appearance of a level 90 item onto level 80 gear, for example. A restriction based on jobs is also a thing where some gear can only be glamoured on certain jobs or classes, while other gear works on every class. Basically, you can only use the appearance of items that your current job can actually equip, so it's not possible to glamour DPS gear onto something that's only usable by healers or casters. You can see what kind of restrictions an item has when looking at its description. For instance, this item can only be equipped by tanks, which means it can only be glamoured over tank gear, while this item works on all physical jobs, and this one has no restrictions at all except for the level requirement. Dyes work pretty much the same. You click on the item, select dye, and choose the one you want. Some items have 2 dye channels now, and this feature will be expanded upon further to make this available for a bigger variety of gear sets. The second commonly used way to change the appearance of an item is through glamour plates, which can be accessed at an inn or through the character menu. They are like presets that you can use as many times as you like without additional costs after the initial setup. It's a lot faster because you can change every equipped item at the same time, including dyes. Plates can be linked to gear sets to make them reapply glams every time you switch to them. I'll explain this in more detail later. Items used for glamour plates have to be stored separately, so you don't need to carry everything around too. The only downside is that plates only work in safe places like cities or sanctuaries, meaning areas around aetherytes. Items used for glamour plates need to be stored in either the armoire or the glamour dresser. These are two separate storage spaces which work in slightly different ways. The armoire can only store items from achievement rewards, seasonal or event items, and job quest rewards. You can tell what items are eligible for the armoire by looking at this symbol. Most notably, the armoire has unlimited storage space compared to the glamour dresser, which can only hold 800 items right now. This sounds like a lot, but it really isn't for a lot of people, understandably so, because there are literally thousands of different glamours. It's just not possible to collect every glam you obtain like in some other games. Items need to be fully repaired in order to be stored in the armoire or dresser, and they will be reverted back to their original state and appearance, losing materia and resetting spirit bond back to 0. You will get a pop-up telling you that as well. Storing items inside the dresser costs 1 glamour prism, but the application or use of plates is completely free. The armoire doesn't consume anything. The amount of plates is limited to 20 as of this video, which isn't even enough to make a separate glam for every job in the game, let alone crafters or gatherers or additional glamours you might want for events and stuff. I really hope the developers increase the limit again because they have done so in the past, like at least 1 for every job would be nice. When it comes to dyes in combination with glamour plates, there are a few things you need to know because using dyes in certain ways will save you millions of gil. First of all, items can be dyed inside the dresser and dyes will stay unless changed. You can even pre-dye items before storing them and it will be carried over as long as it's only dyed and not glamoured as well. I think the reset removes dyes too, so better safe than sorry. Applying a dye inside the dresser allows you to reuse it as much as you like to, of course. All items placed inside the armoire, however, will lose their dyes, so saving them on gear pieces doesn't work here at all. Let's talk about how to link plates to gear sets now. If you don't have one yet, simply go into the gear set list, select the plus icon to save everything you have currently equipped as a set, and select your saved preset again. Then you have the option to change the Glamour plate link and select one you set up before. Now every time you switch to that linked loadout, it will apply the plate on its own and it works perfectly fine as long as you are in a location where plates can be applied. Sets can also be updated with this icon, so there's no need to make a new one every time you change a piece. There's also a new feature added where you can store some items as sets inside the Glamour dresser. It's very limited as of now, but the number of sets this applies to will be increased in future updates. You can check if it's possible by looking at the Glamour dresser icon and seeing if there's a plus sign next to it. When storing set items, there will be a new symbol which gives you access to this. The problem is that this removes all dyes from your gear again, so probably not the best choice for items you use very often or with different colors, but it's an option at least. And that's all I've got. In case I forgot to mention something or if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. With that, thanks for watching and until next time.